Yeah.
How do you feel from an efficiency point of view, as I shift gears,
All right.
as Kansas City has handled this World Cup?
Yeah. Well, I think Kansas City has a problem with over-promising and under-delivering. I think they did that with the draft, and I think they've done that a little bit with the World Cup too. Like they feel like they need to have an excuse or a reason why they're spending millions of dollars on hosting an event for tourists, right? And so they overpromise these great big things that are going to happen. They're going to have tourists in every business, busting at the seams, which in hindsight, we should have realized that's not even possible. That just can't happen, people.
Doesn't every city go through that though? With
I don't know. I wonder what Dallas and Miami and Seattle and Los Angeles, what they're experiencing right now. That'd be interesting to look up some of that stuff.
if they build it, they will come. Right?
Yeah.
With downtown 20 some odd years ago was nothing. There was no reason to go down here except to go to jail or pay a fine.
Right. Yeah, but it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
And there's plenty to do downtown now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Kansas City is adjusting on the fly pretty good to this World Cup. Like the first game, we had a lot of issues with getting people to the game. And then they, they realized that they needed to make some changes. They needed to fix some things. And it sounds like things went a lot more smoothly for the second game. So we'll find out if that goes on. So I feel like they're not afraid to adjust and make some improvements, to accept that maybe it didn't go as perfectly as planned. But, yeah, we're doing okay.
Was it worth it?
I mean, I don't think we'll know if it's worth it until years
After?
from now, really. They seem to be putting a lot of attention on recruiting businesses. Like the mayor on this Thursday night is going to go to a bunch of Netherlands business meetings and soirees for some Dutch people to try and get them to relocate here. And I think it was either the mayor or the governor did the same thing with a bunch of Argentinian business leaders. So I think there's some hope that we can get some outside business, some new business to come to Kansas City, to set up shop in Kansas City, to hire Kansas Cityans, to spend money in Kansas City well after the World Cup's done. And I think that's going to be more of the ultimate, was it worth it, long-term play.
He made a comment on Hustle and Shine the other morning when I interviewed him about a businessman going to Swope Park and seeing the investment that needs to be made in it, and the pool part.
Yeah.
And
where I learned to swim at Swope Park.
Man, that was my favorite pool in the city too. And okay, so that might be the reason. But as I shift to this, Kansas City business owners they don't seem too happy with Mayor Lucas.
They don't seem happy. They don't seem happy with the World Cup or with Mayor Lucas, huh? What's going on with that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, man, you just said it at the top. Maybe it was overpromise.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think what policies are going through City Hall right now that are affected. I mean, and let's give the mayor a little credit. He's trying to help businesses.
Right.
He gave them a bunch of grant money to build patios and help them out with that. Once the people were breaking all the windows, he made a special fund to help people fix their glass or buy more security cameras and stuff. So he's trying to do things. I don't know if I'm supposed to be in his defense right now or not, or not. So what do you? I don't know. What do businesses expect?
Right.
Is what I'm wondering.
An influx of people.
At the end of the day, though, you as a business owner have a role to play in that too. Get on Instagram. Try to market yourself as best you can. Position yourself as a tourist destination. I think a lot of businesses, if you're not barbecue, if you're not nearby the hot spots, you're not going to get a lot of attention when a foreigner Googles Kansas City to-do list.
Is this saying something about our city though? Because clearly it's a robust barbecue market going on right now. They got to shut down days and stuff. With Joe said that it was like, no, we need a break.
Right.
So do we still have work to do with?
Maybe so.
our infrastructure,
or work to do on showing the rest of the world and you world and city that we're more than barbecue, right? That there are other
Right.
things to check out here. I think it's, I don't, but at the same time, that's tricky because you don't want to turn your back on barbecue
Right.
because that's
No.
what's made us
Yeah.
who we are. And people come here to go to Jack Stack, to go to Joe's, the gas station, to try the burn-ins, to, those types of things that you can't get in other places. To hear the hi might help you, when they
Yes,
least
sir.
expect it.
Yes, sir. Or get scared of it.
Right.
You better be prepared.
Yeah.
Mayor Lucas in his tenure as Kansas City mayor, do you think the criticism he gets is fair? Because everybody throws everything at him. I'm regards to Facebook and his critics.
Yeah.
They literally throw everything at him. The police stuff that he can't control, like the police stuff. Like he's just on the board, and he's one of 5 voices on that board. And as a mayor, like you're pretty much handcuffed with the circumstances at that point. But then they'll blame him for the potholes, and they'll blame him for just the most, I don't want to say ridiculous things, but they'll blame him for literally every single problem in Kansas City. Is that fair?
I think there's an element of that is fair. When you put your face out there as a public figure, as someone who is going to be the leader of the city, you have to take everything. One thing that always stands out to me, though, in to your point that maybe he doesn't take it, I hear him get blamed for a lot of school-related things. It's like, well, actually, the mayor has nothing to do with school boards or public education, really. So maybe sometimes when I'm at city council, city hall, I go, all right, I don't know if that maybe needs to be thrown over this way. But when we first interviewed the mayor back in 2019, right, when he first got elected, he told us he wants to get homicides under 100 in the year, and that's not happened. So I think a lot of the crime, a lot of the stuff, he opened himself up to that criticism. He went around, as part of his platform, to get crime, under 100 a year. So we got to hold him accountable at a certain point on that, whether he can control it or not. To your point, being on the board and only being one of 5 votes, I think that's just part of what comes with being a public figure, and people have to put their frustration somewhere. Right. You're just the guy at the top of the totem pole.
Heavy is the head that wears a crown.
Right. So, exactly.
With all the progression and accomplishments that Mayor Lucas has made, because there has been a lot. It's a different city now than it was in 2019.
Sure.
Affordable housing, the continued transformation of the city of streetcar, down the Royal Stadium that will come.
Yeah.
Do you think ultimately people will look back on his tenure and be like, man, look at all that. The Chiefs moved to Kansas.
Right. Yeah, I think that hurts him a lot. Yeah, and I think public safety hurts him a lot too. So I think when it's all said and done, despite all the things he's done and all the hard work he's put in, it'll come down to Chiefs fans being mad at him and people thinking that crime is no better.
But okay, real quick on the Chiefs Stadium, the Chiefs had that they had to deal with Kansas 2 years before the announcement of. Like they had some, I don't know what deal it was, but they had some, it was reported they had some sort of deal already in place. So it's like, and then they put out that lackluster ass
we were all a little
video in 2024. It's and so it's like the Chiefs already knew what they were going to do. It seems like that.
And then it's a double-edged sword too, because if the Chiefs got a heck of a deal from Kansas.
They got the best deal in history, right?
$2 billion, yeah, most public funding ever for a stadium. So if Mayor Lucas would have given them $2 billion, then everybody would be screaming at Mayor Lucas for you gave away too much money, man. That's money we should spend. So he's kind of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, So maybe there's some point to that. I still, in my heart of heart, don't think that the Chiefs sabotaged themselves on that vote. I don't think that was what they were trying to do. I know that people have come up with that and said that the renderings were all hokey pokey, and they didn't put a good effort into that campaign, and lots was changing even up until a couple days before Election Day. But a lot was changing was Royals related back in 2024, whether they're going to keep Oak Street open or close it, or how many businesses are going to be displaced.
It was almost like this location.
Yeah, where we are right now. Good Company wouldn't be here if people had voted yes on that. It wouldn't be in this location anyway.
Right.
And then tearing down Church of the Resurrection right next door. If you're going to tear down a church to build a stadium, obviously the Royals heard that and decided to keep that Catholic church standing over by Crown
right.
Center
Yeah.
with their new proposal.
Yeah. You live and learn.
Right.
The next mayoral race next year,
Yeah.
2027.
Right.
What skill set will the next mayor need to have in order to exceed what Mayor Lucas has done?
Yeah, that's a good question. We got like 5 or so candidates have already thrown their name out there, including 3 current city council members.
Yep.
So, what skill set do you need to get things done, man?
Because look, so, and I'm looking, and I'm gonna let you can, this be your thinking time.
Right.
I have seen going back to the criticism of Mayor Lucas, it's like, I just see you thick skin has to be number one.
Well,
Like,
sure,
that's with any
yeah.
political position.
Yeah.
But it's something different about Kansas City because we're all community. We all are so closely knitted in our communities. We're separate, but we're so close, and because everybody knows each other in some community in some capacity on Facebook.
Oh yeah, one big small town.
So I think that's what kind of makes it a little different, and why you have to have some sort of, you got to be big time with your politics and accomplish big things, but at the same time you got to be down to earth, and you have to know how to talk to people in every community.
Yeah, and I think that would be maybe what I was gonna say first is like transparency maybe, or like Mayor Lucas is great at speaking. You know, he could talk for days. Sometimes though, you have no idea what he just said once he's done talking. And so I would like the next mayor to be able to just tell it straight on, you know, this is what it is, this is what's gonna happen, and boom. And we don't need a minute-long answer, but here's 20 seconds of what we're doing.
What do you think about like how politics have like, because now it's like acceptable to like curse in politics. If we would heard politicians speaking the way they do now, like 25 years ago, it's like, what the hell is going on?
Right.
So it's like, can you picture a Kansas City mayor coming out and saying, like Hal McRae style? You remember Hal McRae?
Yeah, I can't picture that. I think people are still expect some reverence to the position.
But some people, okay, you want transparency and honesty, but it's like, let's take what happened on Vine the other day. If there was a black mayor who came out and said, I am sick of this bullshit that's happening on 18th and Vine, I think everybody would get behind that mayor and would not look down on him, because that's just that being humble and reflecting the attitude of what the people feel.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
That's how that's just, when you said transparency, that's kind of what floated into my mind. I'm a very blunt person though.
Right, blunt.
So, so.
I think there's ways to be blunt without cussing though.
It is.
So that's where I would maybe,
is.
The FCC's in my head too much.
Okay,
about cussing on TV and all that. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that if you can, after that incident on Juneteenth, if you could come out and say, in a like a genuine, authentic way, how sick and tired you are of this, how you hate to see a stain like this on the community, and there's time for everybody to clean up their act and make a difference, and maybe that could rile some crowd. Maybe I'm too naive.
And I'm not saying that Mayor Lucas doesn't feel that way necessarily, because I think he's tired of it too.
I'm sure he is.
But it just goes to my point with being just in touch with that community.
Well, when like ICE and all this stuff was going on, I think the mayor of Minneapolis, right? When ICE was in there, he went on there and started cussing.
People loved it.
People loved it.
I just
Maybe
think
there is a time and place for that.
I just think it's a new society.
Yeah.
To where, and I had to wake up to this probably about, 4 years ago. It was something that happened. I can't remember specifically, but I'm like, oh, we're in a new world where this,
you want to know what happened?
45 and 47.
Exactly. He just came out and started saying whatever the hell he wanted, and people loved it.